Have you ever played Slay the Spire and thought, damn, I wish this looked retro, felt cozier, and had furries? Well, me neither. But that's basically what backpackhero is, and it is incredible for it. backpackhero describes itself as an inventory management roguelike. And inventory management is the core of this game, but it feels like a deck builder without any of the cards. The cards are replaced by items. A sword, a shield, a wand, and you have to pack all of these into your inventory in a way that lets you deal the most damage, lets you muster the most block, all in an effort to make it to the final floor and defeat the final boss. The game looks and feels cozy, but there's definitely a chance to find excitement, anxiety, and frustration. You'll finally beat the last boss after many attempts at failure. You'll find yourself on the cusp of a battle with no way to prevent poison, but all the block in the world. Can you defeat them before the poison defeats you? After time and time again going through the dungeon feeling like Leon Kennedy in Raccoon City Police Station with all the items in the world to pick up and none of the room to carry it all, are you gonna get rid of your newest shiny? Or are you getting rid of Old Faithful? Thankfully, playing inventory Tetris gets a little bit easier. Each time you level up, you can increase the size of your backpack. Most of the characters level up in the same way, but some have unique and interesting ways that their backpack is upgraded. Which is actually a really great segue to talk about characters in general. They are incredibly well designed. Purse, the peppy rat from a poor village, is just a hoarder, filling up her namesake with as many items as possible and using them however she can. It's a vanilla option. But let's not forget that vanilla is delicious. But this metaphor is a little weird because animals and eating animals. I don't want to eat a rat. Like I just want ice cream. I don't want to okay. Toad, the Banished, is basically Slay the Spire but with inventory management, which adds a wonderful layer to how these carvings work. Do you build to never toss your pack? Do you build to have items that discard for you? There's so much that can be done with just this simple extra layer. CR8, the lovely mismatch of metal and nerd stuff, is basically Redstone from Minecraft, but with everything that's been mentioned already. You pick up items, you send electricity through your backpack, and the items do their thing. This is probably the most complicated character and change, but with inventory management at its core, there's so much you can make for each character to feel so incredibly distinct. Satchel, the noble son, upgrades their backpack with little Tetris blocks instead of picking individual squares to create pockets. Pockets have their own unique trait that changes the way things work, and on top of that, Satchel works in charm, trying to get enemies to your side. Satchel is by far the most easy of the characters to win with, but that didn't take away any of the fun. And lastly, there's Pochette, daughter to hermit crabs, and she uses pets. All of the pets have different mechanics and plays different than just normal items while also obtaining normal items. All of these characters revolve around the core of inventory management, but play so much more uniquely than you'd find in Slay the Spire. The characters and their unique difference make up this game and give it the vast appeal that I found it to have. But there's something about this game that I found to be particularly unappealing. The progression of completion doesn't exist in a way that I found to be rewarding. There are 23 different modes, all with their own unique ways that they change the difficulty, and some of them are kind of absurd. Some of which are unlocked by completing modes, a sense of progression. However, that's it. You don't unlock anything for completing these modes. No items, no skins, no characters, you just get a new mode that is now more difficult. And this isn't inherently bad, it just doesn't make me want to play much more after I've already beaten it with a certain character. I'm still motivated to beat it with all of the characters, but after I beat it with Purse, I haven't gone back to play with Purse. So far, all I have left is CR8 and Toad, and I just wish there was more reasons to keep playing those same characters. I wish that not all the items were unlocked, or all of the characters were unlocked, or even all of the skins. I just wish that there was something compelling me to keep going, to keep trying, that wasn't just increased difficulty of harder modes. There is the inherent reward of just doing hard things for the fact that you've overcome a difficult task. That's what all of Noroi is. Just beat hard game for no reason other than hard game. But it doesn't have the same sense of accomplishment for overcoming an incredibly frustrating difficulty curve. Slay the Spire had the progression be unlocking new cards, unlocking new characters, and then gradually building up different ascension modes, which are fucking impossible for someone like me, but you know, they're there. Thankfully, there is the coming of story mode. The testing of it has literally begun right now. They're posting updates on Steam. It's been happening for the last couple of days. It looks incredible. This mode sounds exactly like what I feel the game is missing, and I'm so glad that it's on its way. I will happily play more with Purse to build up my own Haversack Hill and see what more I can do. It is giving me Moonlighter vibes in the best possible ways because that game was wonderful. Plus, I'm literally learning all about this right now as I'm doing research for this script and recording, and it gives me so much hope for what is already a wonderfully hopeful game. I've been really lucky when it comes to getting dev keys, which, spoiler, I got a dev key for this game, and it has allowed me to play a slew of games from passionate and innovative developers making games that they put love into, and I really hope to see these games getting love back. But with all games that are good, there is likely also going to be bad. There's a few minor things that I'm bothered by, but take this all with a grain of salt. While I love this genre of games, by no means am I good at them. Slay the Spire kicks my ass. I can't leave Ascension Level 1 with any of the characters. I can't even get to Ascension Level 1 with some of them. It took me 24 hours to beat Backpack Hero's standard mode with 3 of the 5 characters, and I'm still struggling with Toad, and I haven't even really begun to learn CR8's mechanics. So yeah, there's a chance that a lot of these complaints are just my own badness with this genre. So let's just go. I think the special events, the little question marks on the map, are underwhelming. Most of the time, I ignore them. I don't feel incentivized to randomize. Some characters will ask me to trade for an item of the same rarity or the same size, and I just don't often find that I'm getting items that I care to trade. I feel like I ignore these things way more than I interact with them. I think maybe having more unique encounters instead of NPCs might be a better route. There are a few of these question marks that result in potential fights or giving you bigger, better benefits or detriments depending on what you choose. I just feel like having more of these and making them feel more randomized might enhance me wanting to interact with them. Curse is frustrating because it just feels inevitable. It feels like there's no way to stop Curse other than killing the enemy. But there's those one dudes that have 50 health, and maybe I'm not good enough, but doing 50 damage on round 1 seems excessive. And then there's the times that it spawns behind the little shield guy and you have to kill the shield guy before you can even start to damage the curse guy. It's just a medley for inevitability. I just never feel smart when I'm trying to get rid of Curse. I feel lucky. I don't feel like I'm preventing Curse in a way that makes me feel good at the game. I have not been able to try a single ranged build. I don't know why. Maybe it's luck, maybe it's RNG. It's just each time I wind up with a dinky arrow or I wind up with a dinky bow. But never both. Sometimes I get the shitty hand crossbow and some arrows, but its damage is just such ass that it winds up being a waste of space. All the other builds feel so different and distinctive and fun, and I just want to try and live my best Rat Legolas life. With all that being said, Backpack Hero is truly a lovely little gem of a game that I'd never heard of. Most of the games that I've been getting keys for fall under that umbrella. Lovely, passion-fueled, never heard of it. I think Backpack Hero has a bit of a following, but it never crossed my path. And I'm certain that means that it's never crossed a number of different people's paths. And I hope that, like with the No Roy video and with this one, I can push these games into other people's paths. This game is $17 in early access, and with that, I mean, I've gotten 24 hours just beating the game with 3 characters. I still have 2 more characters that I want to try and beat the game with. On top of that, it's getting the story mode release, which is going to make me put more hours into the game. This game feels like a much lower stakes Slay the Spire. It's cozy, it's quaint, and it's worth the time, and it's worth the money, especially if Slay the Spire or other deck builders are up your alley. I just reviewed a game that's really different from this one, but if you like platformers and difficulty, check out my review of Noroi. Also, thanks for the lovely people that are on my Patreon. You help keep me going. I got a few more reviews coming, and until next time, be well, eat well, sleep well, and dream well.